Great. Now, starts with that. I am playing with a few options here at the moment. Aha. There we go. Need a setting. Now, I'm not 100% sure how that works. Mirror local. I don't want to do that. I think I'm doing a few things right here. I'm not 100% sure. Let me just see one more thing. Post sharing from Facebook. So the weekly event of Boomer Press, where I am now, and sharing it in the Facebook group. I'm not 100% sure how that is happening. Let me just have a look. Share this, go that, share this. Sharing the post from the Boomer Press. I'm over here in my shared live stream room. Pop in to see what it's about. Oh, God. Now I have to go to that and that. It's a lot of steps, isn't there, in doing live streaming, in particular the way that I'm doing it now. Over here, my shared live stream, so I need to put the comment, that link there, I think. So it's actually on my Facebook page as well. Interesting. Now, let me go back to the room, see what's happening. Good evening. I am still progressing and working through the ways of doing this live stream chat. Initially, it's just, Boomer Press Book Nook. It is about books. And, when there's a group of people, we can have some discussions about what you're reading at the moment and that type of thing, or whatever it is that you'd like this to be as far as relevance to Boomer Press Book Nook. It does need to be about books. And at the moment, I am getting back into doing some writing. And the way that I'm investigating or having some play with it is actually using Raptorwrite, which is a program that uses the artificial intelligence. So you get one of the API keys, which is, I can't remember what that stands for. I know I know it, but I just can't remember in this instant. But it's called an API key that you actually connect in with the Raptorwrite to use the large language models, the LLMs, that are what we're learning now as being the AI guts of it, sort of. It's the stuff that's been trained on lots of info that's been freely available on internet and some other areas. Whether you agree with it or not, that's not what I'm discussing here or anything. I think what we're needing to be doing is using the tools that we have available. If you prefer to just write your books down on a notebook like I've got here, this is notes from a course that I'm taking. Oh, it's amazing how that doesn't show up, the print, does it? No, you can't see the writing. There's black ink on that page. Obviously, my light is very bright and, yeah, it's not showing it up. But that's one way of doing your writing, of course, is by putting it on pen, with pen and ink and, into a book, notebook. Longhand writing takes a heck of a long time, and if you're doing crossouts and all that at times, which every writer will do, your ideas do change. It takes a lot of paper and it takes a lot of tracking what you've done in that process. I use Scrivener, which is, I've got the dog here somewhere, I think. I use Scrivener, which is a writing program to organise how you're writing books and everything. And it's quite interesting. I like the format of that. And another one I use is Notion, which is notion.ai, I think. I haven't got my Notion page up, or have I? Anyway, I was going to share screen now. Because I'm using the Ecamm camera, I'm not quite sure which way I'm needing to be doing this. So I'll have a play around until I remember which way is the best, or we discover which way is the best. Now, here I'm sharing that screen, which I don't actually want to share that one. I'm pretty sure I've got, well, that's not helping. I think I've got one of the browsers open that has Wrap2Write. That's the one. And so this is the one I was wanting to share with you. And I'm going to put it that way. Now, usually with the Ecamm, I can click in to have the me in here as well. And I think I'm at the back. Yeah, I'm on that end of it. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to do that. I've done it before, but I can't remember how to do it for here. So there's my screen sharing. I'll do it back to this. The problem is with this, you can't see me. Is that ultra important? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to have, other than a voiceless face, a faceless voice coming in and over what is the, now I'm getting some issues here with how it's sharing. I don't think I can do it this way. So let me just go back to a different way of doing it. Just hold on a second, and I'm going to change my video. I'll be changing it back to me, which is directly hello there, without the screen that I'm sharing there. And this is where I think I'm going to lose the connection somehow with my Ecamm. Now let me share a screen here, and I want to do a Chrome tab, which is not listing in what I'm seeing, window. I need the window from this one. Okay, so we can see that here, and you can see me next to it. Ah, that's the one I want to do. Okay, so that's the way I'd like to do that. Okie doke. So what I need to do is finish out of the Ecamm. I don't need that. It's not doing it how I wanted it to. It's all a learning curve, isn't it? It's good fun, really. Well, I think so. So here we go. Let's have a look. Let's get out of that one. And I'm going to make it a little bigger. Let me just do that bigger, because I do need to actually reference over to this in a sec so I can see what I'm doing on the Wrap2Write. So there we go. Now, As you can see, what I've done here is actually to open Wrap to Write. It's up to the version 0.44. Now, I've already logged in, and what if you're interested in using Wrap to Write, what's that website again? wraptowrite.com. Yep. So that's the URL that you'd need to put in. Now, that's something as well. I'm not sure whether this particular program adds in the chat on the replay. So good learning curve. It's a way of checking it out as well. Now, and here we go. In Wrap to Write. Right. So I have already logged in, and one of the things that you need when you are using Wrap to Write is this down here at the bottom. It's called an Open Router API key. So it should take you through that when you go into Wrap to Write and look at the start here, type flow. It has been a fair time since I've actually done that, checking out the what they start with now, because I've been using this for over a year. Yeah, I've been using it for over a year. But what that gives you is access to your artificial intelligence model that you need to use. So there's quite a few different models. Here we've got the favorites that I've listed for me, and you can list all models from here. And if you have an API, like as well as Open Router, you might have the models that are relevant for some of the other groups, which would be Anthropic, Gemini, and I think there's 4, or is it 5? I can't remember. I'm using the Open Router for this one because that's the minimum that you need to be able to use Wrap to Write. So I'm going to go back to my favorites. Now, I have got the paid version of Wrap to Write. I've gone up to that next level because it was on offer at a particular time. I'm not sure if that's still there. Check it out. It could be. Now, I'm going to go to, what did I have? My favorites. You can choose just the free models as well if you want to, and it comes up with a list of different models that you can access there of the different. You may know some of these particular AI models or not. The one that is most familiar for most people is ChatGPT. So I'm going to go to that one and check that out. And that's in, I've got to remember what it shows up as because I just do this automatically. And it's not going to do it for me. Top 10 models. Let's go to that. And this is what Future Fiction Academy themselves have actually added as a top 10 list. So at the moment, you can see that it's here on the OpenAI GPT-4 Mini. I'm wanting the latest, so that's the model that I'm going to use. And I'll choose something that is going to be, I'll go for the max rather than the super max, because it's all related to the tokens. You don't need to know about that. Just know that it's very cost effective to be using the ChatGPT models in the latest ones, whether it's the mini or whether it's the latest, or it could be that you might want to go, if you've got an Anthropic key, you'd go to the Sonnet. But I'm using the latest for tonight. Right, what I'm wanting to do is just take the suggestions that are useful that I'll use for a new project. Now, I've already clicked on this one, plus new project. You can click on that a number of times and get a new project each time, but I'm just going to give it that one, and I'm just going to call it Boomer Press demo. demo fiction 1. So that's started a new project just by doing that. And as you see here, it's opened a blank title here. What I like to do first is just do it as ideas for a fiction. What type of fiction book? I actually feel like doing a... I don't know, actually. I'm not sure what sort of fiction book I'd like to do tonight to give it a go as a demo, because I'm only just exploring fiction writing myself now as an adult at my age. But it has been fun. And I'm not that good at doing the spontaneous fiction titles and genres because I'm still actually learning more about the genres as I'm going. You might be able to help out, write some ideas in the discussion area on the group. That'd be a good one to follow up with. A fantasy paranormal fiction novel. Or it could be a novella or anything like that. Now, we've got nothing else chosen here. There's no other folders or anything with starters in here. There's no templates because I'm not particularly wanting to do templates. But this area that we're sitting in here right at the moment is where you do the most... you can type your instructions. You can actually, instead of using your pen and paper, like this, you might decide, no, you want to do your storytelling on the computer. This is where you can do it as far as typing it out. And whoops, I can't even type properly quickly, moving around the corner. And you can start any type of a story if you want to. Sarah could see that she was being followed. And from here, you can just start it as that and click on the, the run this. So you can actually do the backslash down the bottom here. You can see that there. And that's all you need to hit, and potentially just see what happens with it and take an idea, and that's processing it. And it's going to give a bit of an idea of what sort of story it feels it's going to create from this. So you can see she ducked into an alleyway, her breath loud in her ears as the footsteps behind her grew closer. The scent of rain-soaked concrete and old grease filled her nostrils. Her heart pounded, urging her legs to keep moving, yet her mind raced with questions. Who would be chasing her through the city at this hour, and why? A sliver of moonlight glinted off a broken shard of mirror leaning against a dumpster. She caught a blur of movement in the reflection, tall, dark coat, face obscured by shadow. Without thinking, she pulled her hood tighter around her face and pressed herself behind a pile of discarded crates. The footsteps slowed, crunching glass beneath heavy boots. Sarah held her breath. You're making this harder than it has to be, a low voice called into the silence. The words echoed, intimate and cold. Sarah clenched her fists, willing her body not to tremble. She knew that voice. Now, that sort of sounds interesting in leading into it. Now, with this one, if you want to actually accept it as that, there's either these up the top, the thumbs down or the thumbs up. The highlights go away and it accepts that phrasing that is typed here. Or you can actually do the equal button to confirm. So I'm going to hit the thumbs up. Look, it's not too bad. And you can continue if you want to, doing exactly the same thing with that backslash there. And I'm going to do it one more time just to see what it actually develops. So this is just a demo. It's just a description, a way of doing some writing to get you started if you find it difficult to do that. So from there, we've got some more words. And what I like with Rap to Write as well, here we've got the word count down the bottom, 388 so far. And it does give you an estimate of what tokens have been used. Well, it's probably the full, it is 503 tokens. So that's all you're paying for, and they're minuscule cost. So anyway, from here, Sarah clenched her fist, willing her body not to tremble. She knew that voice. It had haunted her dreams for months, calm, deliberate, threaded with menace. Derek. She pressed a hand against the damp brick wall behind her, grounding herself, memory and fear colliding in her chest. Last she'd seen him, he was being led away in handcuffs, the judge's warning still ringing in the courtroom. Restraining order. 30 feet, no contact. What was he doing here? The footsteps shuffled closer, then paused. Sarah didn't dare peek. A drop of water fell from the fire escape above, striking the metal rim of the dumpster with a sharp ping, and for a terrible second she thought she'd flinched loud enough to give herself away. Derek exhaled slowly. I just want to talk, he said, softer now. You don't have to run. She bit back a bitter laugh. That's what he'd said the night it all came apart. Sarah's fingers brushed something cold and heavy, a rusted length of pipe. Her grip tightened around it as she breathed through her nose, willing her thoughts into a line. She couldn't afford panic. Not now. I'm not going to hurt you, he added, like that would ease the scar above her ribs. Like that would erase. Here's me saying ease. Like that would erase the scar above her ribs or the year of silence that followed. A pause, then the unmistakable sound of him taking a step closer. Either she ran now or she changed the ending this time. Interesting. Let's go and click up on that. We'll accept that. So this is a way of creating a story that you can get a basic draft. Now, if I wanted to, I can hit that backslash again. Shall I? Yeah, why not? So I'm going to do it one more time, 3 times. I'm a 3 person, so why not? And we can go from here. You can still scroll back and scroll forward as much as it's like any normal and regular word processor. So it looks like it's done that, and 667 words at the moment. So Sarah rose, quiet but purposeful, the pipe resting low at her side. Her legs ached with tension, but she kept one eye on the glinting mirror, gauging his distance. Derek stood just beyond the alley's mouth now, one hand half lifted, as if he expected her to step out like nothing had ever been broken. You remember what you said that night? She let her voice carry, clear but edged. Right before you, his face shifted. The shadow couldn't hide that. I didn't mean for it to happen, he began, but she stepped forward then, out from the crates, pipe visible, her stance unyielding. But it did, she said sharply, and you still came looking. Her voice didn't shake, not this time. You were meant to stay away, Derek. Oh. The silence between them folded in on itself, heavy and aware. He glanced at the iron in her hand, and for a moment hesitation eked into his features. I needed answers, he said, but now it was he who stepped back. You left too many questions. You think I owe you anything? Sarah asked. After what you did? He opened his mouth, then shut it again. Water dripped nearby, a thin, steady rhythm like a failing metronome. Sarah took a breath, long and slow, then raised the pipe an inch. Turn around, she said. Derek looked at her as if trying to calculate something. Then another step back, then another. She didn't move until he'd vanished into the city's dark, humid sky. Only then did her knees give slightly, the pipe lowering to her side. She was breathing again, the night still wrapped around her, but this time the ending belonged to her. Now, that you'd think was probably a reasonably good finish for that phrasing, for that scene. interesting, isn't it? How well, in many respects, that the AI can write. But there's a lot of things around this that I think probably do need to be redone in phrasing that you want to bring into more of a human voice instead of something that feels like it's been grabbed from other places and spaces in some respects. In the time that we've got, that's not what I'm going to do this time. I think what I'd like to do is have a look at it myself to see what would I want to keep with this. I mean, I don't think that this last one is what I want to keep. So like you can see here, what I'm doing, you can just use it like a word processor and type. And then if you need to, you can highlight certain areas and you can go with a rerun of just this particular actions would be revise and make it edgier and just do something like that and submit. So from that bit, it's only that particular paragraph that it's going to redo, and you can see what you feel around what there is within your story to just keep it going and flowing how you want to, or just rewrite it in your own words to humanize it more in your own voice, so that what this is doing, I'm going to just go down on that one. I don't particularly need it because I don't know yet whether I'm going to keep all of this. So you can actually rewrite, reword, change anything within this to be more of your own voice, your own wording, and continue on with the story as you want it to. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing that because it's about time to finish up. I'm only doing these sessions for about half an hour each time, and progress a little bit further with the Wrap to Write. The Wednesday night ones will be a little bit more of this here in the group. And I will be restarting doing the Sunday night Burma Press book Nooks as well. And that will be showing on the YouTube channel as well. Later as an upload. I still need, it'll be wonderful if you could encourage people to what do you call it? Subscribe and like, follow. What does the YouTube do? It is subscribe, isn't it? I'm just going to go over there and get my YouTube channel up so I can share the link with you, because you need a certain number of followers to be able to do a live stream direct into YouTube. And I haven't got that number subscribed yet. So, look, I went into the studio, wrong space. All I want to do is go to the channel. So if you can bear with me for a minute. View my channel. I have got the link somewhere else saved somewhere, but it's faster to actually go to the channel and pop that in here as well. And we'll see if we actually get these the chat coming in with a recorded version here. So lovely I'm enjoying doing these types of sessions, and the further along we get, the more practiced I'll be, of course, with this particular video studio area in Soul Software. And would be lovely if you could join me each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Adelaide Central Standard Time. Okay, so it's Australian Central Standard Time, which is Adelaide. I suppose it's Northern Territory as well. And we'll keep moving forward from there. And I'll see you Sunday evening. That is 7:30. It's slightly later, so that will be a half hour later, not the 7. It will be 7:30 p.m. Adelaide Central Standard Time. So look forward to seeing you again, and we'll go bye for now. Stop the record.